All right. Apologies for that. You got me at all?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay. My computer is working in the 20th century, so it might be time for a new computer here. But yeah, just as always, thank you guys for hopping on. We have a full slate of college basketball today. Massive slate, as always. It's always overwhelming a little bit. I actually have been up since like 8, looking at the board. I thought I would be feeling a little bit better, but I'm not. But Ethan, happy to have you here. How are you feeling about this board? Again, I don't know why I feel like this every single morning, but it's a terrible feeling, a good feeling at the same time. I'm excited to get into it. How you doing?
Yeah, I wasn't up quite as early as 8, but got up, combed through the board. There's a lot I like, so I'm fearful that I will be unloading today. I kind of already have. Um, I'm also going through it right now with a touch of a hangover, so I'm going in waves. Once I got to the end of handicapping basketball, I was seeing double. So yeah, I'm excited to get into it. Kind of fighting off my demons right now, but hopefully by the time we're off here, I'm feeling better.
Yeah. I have already locked in 5 plays, and there's about, like, I have a whole list of crap on my sheet that I probably wrote down like close to, I don't know, 40 games that I was potentially eyeing. I'm on 5 right now. Not including some of the big games, just because I wanted to pick those with you, pick your brain a little bit. But I'll probably have around 10, maybe even close to 15 plays today. I'm doing my half unit strategy again. I did that last night. I went 5 for 5. It was frustrating, but because some of my 1 unit plays just did not hit. But I'm doing a bunch of half unit plays today, and we're going to see how it works. So, yeah, a couple big games. If you want to start with, or if we want to start, how do you want to do this? Do you want to start with the big games or just start down the time slot?
I think the time slot
Okay.
is fine. I also have 5 plays locked in, so we're
Ooh.
already starting out in lockstep here. And I also will have probably at least 10, maybe 15. So yeah, I'm
Go ahead.
well, I was just wondering if Asker and the Paint is this the same stream or is it a new link?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Oh, there's Asker.
Okay, yep.
So it looks like he's on. Maybe the paint will come in a second.
Yep.
Okay, so it's not the same stream. All right, Asker, thank you for hopping on. And the paint's in the building.
Too.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Apologies. My computer is crap. But we're back. So let's just start off the biggest game. One of the biggest games, actually, of the day is starting in just a little over an hour. That is Houston at Baylor. This is the one game I'm going to have a bet on it. I just don't know what I'm going to do. Houston is I believe, a 2.5 point favorite traveling to Baylor, which is something we usually don't see a whole lot. Obviously, Houston might defy the system plays. However, this is eerily similar to that Connecticut game earlier this week when UConn was I believe, a 3-point favorite traveling to Creighton, who was also ranked. Again, very similar rankings. We also thought UConn could have defied the logic of home court advantage. They got murdered by close to 20 points. So I want to take Baylor because I think that's the system play. I'm just worried that Houston might just be too good. So my lean right now is Baylor. How about you? Do you have a lean?
Yeah, my lean's Baylor. I don't think I'm going to play this game. Yeah, Baylor fits the system. Like, you said, we were both leaning on UConn on Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever night that was. Creighton was the right side from start to finish. The one time we go against kind of our system play, so I don't want to do that again. However, I just think the spot is kind of tough. Baylor has TCU on Monday on deck, who they just lost to in triple overtime late January. So I got to think they want revenge on that game. And then for Houston, this is their last ranked game until the final game of the season against Kansas. So I think they're going to be motivated and focused. Yeah, I don't like this game. it'll be great to watch, but I'd have to lean Baylor. Don't
Yeah,
love
the
it.
paint is on Houston and then the over. I would probably side at the over. I just don't know if I can get there betting an over against Houston with one of I think the best defense in the country. So that's always iffy on my end. But yeah, I want to get involved in that game just because it's going to be a great game. But I'm just having trouble finding a money making opportunity. So yeah, my lean again would be Baylor. I just don't know if I can get there. Let's move on. I'm seeing there's a couple more noon games that I really like. There's a Big Ten game between Indiana traveling to Penn State. There's Missouri at Arkansas and Notre Dame at Syracuse. I got three pretty strong feelings about all three of those games. I also have one bet out of those three games. Let's just start with Indiana, Penn State. What's your thoughts on that game, if you have any?
Yeah, I honestly don't have much on any of those 3 games. Nothing was standing out to me, so, I guess for time's sake, I'll just let you give out your leans, your plays.
Yep.
I don't have much on any of them.
Okay, my least favorite out of the three is the Indiana Penn State game, but I do like Indiana on the spread on the road. I believe they're plus 4.5. Again, I don't love betting away teams, but that spread is between two pretty even matchups. That spread we've seen Penn State should get close to 7 points on the spread, so it seemed a little low. So I definitely lean Indiana on the ugly side. Notre Dame Syracuse, really like Notre Dame. +6, +6.5. Again, same exact reasoning. They're traveling to Syracuse, who is a decently better team. Syracuse just a 6-point favorite. Seems really low. Feel like Syracuse could potentially be a 10-point favorite in that game. So I would lean Syracuse. And then my actual bet is in this Missouri-Arkansas game. I have taken Missouri at the +4.5. It's about as ugly as you can get. This team is garbage, but Arkansas is miserable. This team, I believe, started the season off like number 9, have fallen completely out of the rankings, completely collapsed. They have a scandal going on inside their program. The coach can't control these kids. The kids don't want to listen to the coach. The kids hate each other. This team's in shambles. I'm also seeing 80% of the bets coming in on Arkansas. This was at 5.5. The line has now moved down a whole point in the last about an hour and a half in favor of Missouri. So Missouri's crap, but I was on Missouri when they played Tennessee. Same exact spot. Love Missouri. I think Missouri wins outright. They are one of my 5 plays so far at the +4.5.
I like that reasoning. I might have to look a little bit deeper into that game because I like that.
Yeah, it's ugly. And Missouri's not great. I'm gonna be honest, especially on the road.
Haven't won in a long time, have they?
No, I think they're on 13 straight losses now.
Yeah.
They did cover against Tennessee though, but I had them.
Have they won in conference play?
They might not have.
I don't think they have.
So not great. Not great.
Not great. But reverse line movement.
Yeah, adds to the love. Depends on Penn State to cover. Again, I'm not going to argue with that because it's probably the play. They're home. I just feel like they should be a higher favorite there. All right.
Actually,
go ahead.
With you talking about that game, I was looking. I would actually side with you on Indiana, simply with Penn State off the emotional, crazy win that they just had against Illinois. Seems like a nice letdown spot here for Penn State. It's not enough to get me to play on Indiana, but that would be my look.
Yeah, just again, I'm trying to. It depends also on the over in Mizzou. Haven't looked at the total, but I'm always here for a good point game going over. Let's move on to the 1 p.m. slate. Not the greatest. A bunch of mid majors. Just look. We have Florida Vanderbilt. A disgusting spread in that game. I believe Florida is 16-ish point spread. Seeing a little bit reverse line movement, but those lines move a lot when they're that high in spreads. We saw DePaul and someone else, I think last night or the night before, move like 3 points in the final 30 minutes. But it's so hard to handicap teams when, in my opinion, when the spread gets that big. So I don't have a play on that. Do you have anything in the 1 p.m. slates?
Nothing in the 1 p.m.s.
Yeah. Again, the only good game, in my opinion, would be Vandy, Florida. I do. It's pretty gross. I do like the Citadel quite a bit as one of my favorite leans. Citadel against Chattanooga. God damn, I'm gonna bet it. I just looked at what KenPom had this game finishing at. I'm gonna be betting the Citadel against Chattanooga. God damn it. I've been eyeing that one all day, and it's one of my favorite plays. I'm like, the slate's too good to bet this game, but I just saw Ken Palm has Chattanooga by 3 in this game. No chance. Give me Citadel plus 6.5. God damn it, that sucks. I loved it. I love it. It was a good lean, and sometimes lean turns to bets. So Georgia State 1 p.m. game from DePaint. What does Georgia State got?
He might be Central Time,
Oh,
perhaps. Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
it's at 2 p.m.
Let's move to we're Eastern time. Apologies. Let's move to the 2 p.m. slate. Probably the biggest game. We can talk a little bit of the mid majors. We'll talk about Georgia State in a second. Connect, but Washington, Arizona is a solid game. Obviously, West Virginia, Iowa State is a massive spread. Boston College, North Carolina State, and then Duke, Wake Forest is probably the big game on that slate. Do you have anything? I do have. Actually, 2 p.m. keeps going. Wow. I do have a couple plays, couple leans, and a couple plays in the 2 p.m. slate. But do you want to start off if you have anything?
Yeah, I have a few. I have 2 actual plays, and I believe a few leans. Yeah, I'll say what I have, and then I'm gonna quick look into that Georgia State game.
Yep.
But I am on, and probably my favorite play of the day, K-State. I think I got them plus 1.5 money line. Doesn't really matter. I think they win outright. Yeah, with Baylor or with BYU off that win against Baylor, Kansas on deck, it's just a phenomenal letdown spot. And they just beat K-State on the 10th just 2 weeks ago. K-State, obviously, with that little revenge factor, they're on 3-game losing streak. Need to end that really as soon as possible. I think they can beat BYU. They can get another home victory against West Virginia, and then try to fight their way into the tournament in their final 3 games. So, yeah, I absolutely love this spot for K-State. I think it's probably an easy win for them.
Yeah, I can side at that for sure. I was leaning BYU just simply because I saw K-State was a little public as the underdog. But I also am very skeptical of BYU. I just don't think BYU is as good as what they're saying that they are. Texas State, Georgia State. We can quickly talk about that one. I can tell you what Ken Palm has that game at. Not like that really matters, but that's what I'm on at the moment. Texas State, he has them. Georgia State winning 71-66. That's about as far as my analysis is going to go on that game. Ethan, do you have anything to add?
I don't. I mean, the way I tend to bet college basketball, I look at the matchup. I see if they've played in the past. They haven't this season. And then I look who's on deck for both teams. Georgia State has James Madison on deck, who fell out of the rankings, but they're still a phenomenal team. It is one of Georgia State's recent losses, actually their most recent loss. So I feel like it could be a touch of a look ahead spot for Georgia State. Texas State has 3 straight losses. I mean, they're not good. Yeah, it's tough for me to get down to the mid majors because it's tough to really decide what a look ahead spot is.
Right.
Obviously, when you're in the Big 12 and you have a ranked team every other game, you're kind of looking ahead to those. So, yeah, I wish I could give you more, but that's how I basically like to start my handicap, and there's nothing sticking out in that game for me.
Yeah. Continuing on the 2 p.m. slate, Washington, Arizona. Obviously, Arizona just played Thursday night and lost at home to Washington State. So, revenge spot. But again, I'm not going to get involved in that game with I believe it's like a 16 point spread. I am seeing Arizona is very public. Again, why not? It's a get right spot. A game after a bad loss, they want to win against a pretty relatively easy opponent. I just don't bet spreads usually when they get that high, especially on the favorites. So not going to get involved on that game. Boston College, NC State, I have nothing on.
No.
West Virginia, Iowa State is again 17-point Iowa State spread. I don't have anything on that one.
I would actually lean West Virginia, and it's gross, and I hope I don't bet it. But Now I have to remember why I liked West Virginia. Oh, no, I'm not going to play that game. I'm not even going to get into the weeds. It's the slightest lean.
Debate. We're not seen on the right side. Lafayette plus 3.5 against Lehigh. I honestly love Lehigh. They were one of my leans. I believe I tweeted them out as well. Simply, and the fact that it's a 3.5 point spread now is even better. I might have to bet that along with this freaking Citadel, which sucks. But I was seeing Lafayette was getting 80% of the bets at plus 1.5. Is now, as you said, the 3.5 point spread. I can't fact check that, but 3.5 points for Lafayette with 80% of the bets. That's a 2 point reverse line movement. It's got to be Lehigh. So yeah, I am gonna bet Lehigh as well with the Citadel, which sucks because there's so many good games going on. Check out my UFC. Ben has a UFC article that was just posted this morning. Researching tonight's UFC card. If you guys need any UFC, Ben and Bobby are UFC guys. You can find that over on our website, bettergreen.com. Again, those guys are on fire over there. Personally, I know nothing about MMA and UFC. So reading their articles is extremely helpful, and they've been killing it. So make sure you do check those out as well.
Yeah, also, I believe I saw Aaron posted a soccer video. If anyone's into soccer, Premier League, mostly, we do have an article out right now with some plays there for, today's games are probably all going or maybe starting here soon. Probably some plays for tomorrow as well. And then quickly, maybe I'll talk you off the Lehigh game. I would actually side with the paint just on initial look on Lafayette. And that's simply because they just played on the 10th again 2 weeks ago, Saturday, double overtime game. Lehigh ended up winning that one in double OT. So
that's enough to cross it off the list. I don't need to bet it. You don't see, that's why we get on here. We pick each other's brains. And if it was a Power 5 ranked team or ranked game, I might still bet that game. But you don't need to push anything, especially in games between Lehigh and Lafayette. No idea where those are. All I know is CJ McCollum went to Lehigh. That's about it.
True.
All right. The biggest, most system play that is a definition of the system. Also at 2 p.m. today, Duke, Wake Forest.
I'm on it.
Is it Wake?
I'm on it. It's Wake, and I'm on it. I've already bet it. And it makes no sense.
It's Wake, and it's rising like freaking wildfire.
It makes no sense. Duke isn't even in a bad spot. Like, I just don't even understand. Duke is off 5 straight wins, and they have Louisville on deck. Like, I just don't understand why. Yeah, but these teams just played less than 2 weeks ago. Duke won. So, yeah, it's gross.
Yeah, it's as soon as I saw that, I wish I saw it yesterday. It was at -1. Yeah, as ugly as it is, it's got to be Wake. It's the system. It's the definition of the system. The most true game of our system. We got to take it. We also, Ben, we are very close to 550. One more subscriber, 550. I will take my shirt off, show you my man boobs if we get to 550. So it's one more subscriber, please. We have a live tracker on our screen here, so that is interactive. If you subscribe, that does go up. So yes, get us to 550 to see some man tits. Sorry, going back to it's got to be Wake Forest. Anything else on the 2 p.m.? I guess we can go 2 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Yeah. Before, I just want to quick get to Asker's comment. He asked if we've seen the series House on Netflix. I have not, but I'm always looking for a new series, so I'm down to check it out. Have you seen it?
Is that House like the old House, like that used to be on?
Oh,
like
I don't
FX.
believe the new series House on Netflix.
Okay, if it's new, then I'd be down.
Yeah.
Remember the House from like the early 2000s?
Yep. But yeah, the 2 to 3. I mean, we do have the good game with Iowa, Illinois. I don't have anything in that game, but should be a nice Big Ten battle.
Neither do I. I would lean the over, honestly, but that's probably pretty high.
166.5.
Is it? Ken Palm, not like he really means anything, has 91.81 Illinois.
Okay.
170. Fuck. I might have to look at the betting percentage on that one, possibly. Because, I mean, I know Iowa can hang with anyone,
Yeah.
and Illinois is coming off a bad loss. I'm gonna put a little asterisk next to the potentially this over. What did you say it was at? 166?
Yeah, I'm just using the CBS Sports app, so it's not the most accurate, but 166.5 is what they
Okay.
currently have. So it's probably anywhere from 165 to 167.
Okay. I'll write it down. Yeah, that's gonna be a good game. I kind of like Iowa too. Uh,
I think you could put, like, I would be hard pressed to lay double digits with UConn against Iowa.
yeah,
They can just stay in it with anybody.
exactly. And they can also
So,
get they can win by 20 or lose by 20 any given day if they're shooting 60% from 3 or 20. And again, that's a lot. That's you could say that about a lot of teams, but Iowa lives and dies by the 3. So
yep,
and again, I think Illinois. I just also don't like betting teams off losses. Like I don't
right.
know. I don't love doing that just because you just don't know what you're going to get. I do have another play, another mid-major play, but I do love the American 10, the A10 conference. I am taking St. Louis at the -4.5 against George Mason today. St. Louis is George Washington today. This game's at 3 p.m. Eastern time. St. Louis is at home. George Washington originally was getting close to 80% of the bets. Again, that was at 8 a.m. this morning, so those lines probably changed a little bit, but love St. Louis today. Have bet them. That's my second bet of the day that I've actually placed. Again, it's a mid-major, but I do love the A10 conference. I have a lot of success in the A10. I also live right around the area, so and stay in touch with most of those schools. So like St. Louis quite a bit today. To paint, stay away from that total Illinois, Iowa. It's because Iowa got hit the 3. I mean, that's
Yeah.
kind of Iowa's
So,
identity. Yeah.
yeah, it's
I'm,
like you
I'm,
said,
yeah, go ahead.
if they're shooting 60%, they cover and it's over. If they're shooting 20%, they don't cover and it's under. That's so hard to know when they're on.
Right. Anything else on 3 p.m.? I'm seeing one other Power 5 game, Cincinnati TCU. Anything?
Yes, I believe yes. TCU.
Is that a bet?
That's a bet.
Oh,
I forgot what I
okay.
got them at. Let me check quick. I got a -4, -115.
Okay.
I said K-State was my favorite bet. TCU might be my favorite. Cincinnati has Houston on deck, a team they just lost to again 2 weeks ago. Would just be a huge win if Cincy could get it done. They beat TCU in overtime back in mid-January. So I think TCU's kind of had the revenge spot on their mind here, just off of 1-point loss to Texas Tech. Kind of need to get this win here because they have Baylor and BYU on deck, 2 ranked teams, but BYU on the road, and then West Virginia on the road. So they could easily drop those next 3. Need every win they can get at this point. Yeah, with that revenge factor. Kind of like I've said this year, that like 4 to 5 to 6 point spread range has been really good to me. So it falls right into there again. Yeah, I'd like TCU to roll. I'm also not bought into Cincinnati whatsoever.
Yeah, neither am I. I like TCU there. I like TCU. I wrote it down. I might get involved. Didn't love K-State, but might get involved there too. I don't know. We'll see. Ben 0 for 3 on a 5-minute wager this week. The toaster and bathtub are looking mighty nice right now. Well, Ben, it's Saturday. Hopefully you're not working today, but at least you have the weekend, right? Maybe on Monday you can revisit that toaster and bathroom situation. Okay. I like that play, TCU. Not really bought in on Cincinnati. Same thing. I just don't know if I'm bought in on BYU. And those are a couple of the additions to the Big 12 this year that have actually been outperforming what I thought they were capable of, but still, I just don't know if I'm totally bought in. I'm bought in on Houston, but the other two, yeah. Okay, you're off. Thank God. 4 p.m. slate. We're just going to continue down again and stop me if you have any other plays in between. I'm seeing a weird, funky line between, I'm sure there's a name for this rivalry, but Oklahoma State. last I saw, again, I don't have the odds up right now. I'm just looking at the KenPom schedule. Last I saw, OK State was a favorite here at 1.5, something around there at home. I don't think, is Oklahoma ranked? Are they just out of the rankings now?
They're just out.
Okay, they're just out. For reference, Oklahoma was in the top 25. They're 36 on KenPom. OK State's 100 on KenPom. And again, last I saw, OK State, which with far fewer wins, is a 1.5 point favorite. I do have a lean simply because it's kind of the system on OK State in that game. I don't have a bet on it, but that is my lean.
Yeah, me too. I haven't played it just because it's so hard to play on OK State. They've already burned me a few times this year. But it is, like you said, the rivalry, the revenge. They just played 2 weeks ago. Oklahoma won that game by 4 points. This one's at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma has Iowa State and Houston on deck, off 2 losses to Baylor and Kansas, which, yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I kind of wish I would have beat Kansas. Then I would have for sure been on Oklahoma State. But, yeah, I've not played it. If I do, it will be Oklahoma State. Also, just want to say, we called the downfall of Oklahoma when they were sitting at 13-1. They have now won only 5 of their last 12. So, just saying.
And now they're an underdog today. They could get kicked out. Yeah, I might get involved depending how this morning goes. The noon slate, which I usually don't recommend doing, but I might get involved because I do think OK State is a system play. Another game, also in that. Go ahead.
Want to stop you quick, circle back to a 3:30 game. Haven't played it yet, but Ole Miss is another pretty good system play here. Yeah, again, haven't played it simply because South Carolina is off the 2 back-to-back losses, but I'm also not really that bought into South Carolina, so I don't think they're a team that is like guaranteed, if you will, to end a losing streak against an unranked Ole Miss. So, yeah, I'll probably end up playing Ole Miss in that one.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that one. That is another clear image of the system play. Ole Miss unranked, 3.5 point favorite against South Carolina, I believe, 20-something, 20th.
20th.
On that game, Ole Miss, and I like the over as well. Glad we can agree on that one, DePayne. Ole Miss, yeah, I like that. I'll probably bet it again just because you gotta. Just like the Wake Forest, it's ugly, but as soon as you leave one out, that's the one that's going to win. And that's at least my thought process. So, yeah, thank you for bringing that one up. Can't believe I missed that one. Similar line, just like the last couple we talked about, Texas Tech at UCF. This game's also at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Again, last I saw, UCF was a favorite in this game. It was a pick-em down, and UCF got down to a 1.5 point favorite the last I saw. Again, Texas Tech just outside the rankings, I believe. Don't think they are in the rankings currently. UCF, I think is like 13-12 or something on the record, so just over 500. They're also one of those teams like BYU, who's the other team we just talked about?
Cincinnati.
Like Cincinnati, they're just joining the Big 12 for the first year, and they're struggling. But a 1.5 point favorite against a very solid Texas A&M team. Again, this Texas Tech team. Texas Tech's 25 on KenPom, so KenPom would have them ranked. UCF is 73. If you're going to take the other systems, I feel like you got to take the UCF on the spread as well. So that's my lean. I'm probably just going to end up sprinkling all these freaking games, and I hate that. But, yeah, I'm on UCF.
Yep, I've already played UCF as one of my plays. Yeah, I mean, big win for Texas Tech against TCU with an in-state game. Obviously, Texas has a ton of in-state games, so it's not like they had that one circled by any means, but I think you always want to beat your in-state opponents. And they have in-state after on deck here playing Texas, who they already beat Texas on the year, but it's still a huge game. They want to sweep them. And they just beat UCF again 2 weeks ago to the day. So, yeah, revenge spot for UCF. UCF has Oklahoma State on deck, no look ahead. And I think Texas Tech will probably be wanting to get in, get out, hopefully with a win, and then go bring it to Texas at home. So, yeah, I like UCF in that one.
Yeah. To paint, that game will be a last possession game. Yeah, I imagine this being a very back and forth game. But yeah, again, as soon as I leave one off, that's the one that's going to hit. So I will for sure be on Wake Forest, Mississippi State, or sorry, yeah, Mississippi, Ole Miss, and UCF because I gotta. So I will be adding those. And then again, we have a couple more plays to go through, but make sure you do follow us on Twitter. Both me at Worst Bets and Ethan at eBainbridge26. We post all of our plays pretty much every single day. If you didn't know Ethan was drinking last night, you could just go look at his last tweet, and I knew he was up to no good. So not quite sure. I think that was a song lyric. I'm a little out of the game, but yeah, follow us on Twitter for plays and some comedy as well. You won't miss out. And again, I at least will be tweeting my plays in probably 15 minutes over on Twitter. So make sure you do follow those. And do you care to elaborate on what your tweet was?
Yeah, well, I'll start by saying if you go look for it now, you won't find it because that was one of the wake up and delete situation. So, but yeah, it was the song "Swimming Pools" by Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
That was like our high school days. Came on at the bar, hadn't heard it in forever. Don't know why my thumbs went right to Twitter and tweeted out the lyric, but yeah.
Yeah, that's I have notifications on for Ethan's tweets, so I saw that one pop up last night, and I knew he was having a decent time.
It could be worse. I could have been hitting DraftKings instead of hitting Twitter.
That's a plus. You were a brave man and took the night off last night.
Took the night off.
I can't say the same. So I applaud you, especially when a little alcohol is involved. Staying to the 4 p.m. slate, I'm seeing another 2 more games. Wow, 4 p.m.'s loaded. 2 more games I really want to talk about. I don't think I'm missing any of my actual plays so far. North Carolina at Virginia, and we have Alabama at Kentucky. I hate both these games. I'm going to have bets on both of these games. You got any leans, any bets? Don't tell. Yeah. You take. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
I have not bet either. It's got to be Virginia, right?
God damn it!
It has to be.
I hate this freaking team, man.
But the nice thing about Virginia is they can legitimately hold their opponent scoreless for 7 minutes, which is nice. But they also only put up 8 points over those 7 minutes, so it's got to be Virginia. The
problem is if North Carolina scores 60 points, you can kiss this game goodbye for Virginia. I don't think they broke 50 in the last 2 games.
No. They did put up 80, though, 2 weeks ago against Florida State. 60 against Miami, 63 against Pitt, 66, 65, 69. I'm going to be on Virginia. It's gross. It's gross. But they're going to win.
They are, and I know it. I just really want to fade that team so bad. Yeah, it's got to be Virginia, and I hate it. Also, North Carolina, I did see a tweet, 0-8 in the last 8 games at Virginia. I like Virginia with the points. Stay away, guys. Yeah.
I can't.
I can't either. And I really want to bet North Carolina.
The one you stay away from is the one that hits.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I knew it was Virginia. It's 100% the right side. It's just whether or not I want to get mad when that doesn't hit or get mad when it hits and I didn't bet it. So, yeah, it's frustrating. All right. The other game, probably the biggest game of the day, in my opinion, Alabama, Kentucky. Alabama traveling to Kentucky. I believe Kentucky, this line's been moving. Kentucky, I believe, is up to are they close to a 3-point favorite now?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Didn't have 3.
What do you got?
I don't cap totals, but it's got to be the under for me.
It's got to be the under.
Got to be. And it's disgusting, but I mean, Alabama in their last 3 games went to overtime and put up 98 and then had 2 100-point games. But before that was their game against Auburn, 81-99, which still would have gone over that total. But Kentucky's better defensively than Auburn is and Alabama. I just think there's so much recency bias with Alabama's high-scoring totals. Again, one of them being in overtime that it's probably a little bit juiced. So I think it's got to be the under in this game, but I also think it's got to be Kentucky. It was a bad spot for them against LSU with the letdown after the Auburn win and with Bama on deck. I think they kind of got caught. Looking ahead, maybe celebrating the win, hopefully more so looking ahead. Yeah, it's Kentucky at home. I think it's got to be Kentucky.
I would lean that as well, but I mean, Kentucky's had their struggles at home. I know they just had a big win. I think Auburn was a home game, but I think they lost 3 in a row at home before that. Yeah, I'm going to take the under. This opened at 178. I saw on DraftKings this morning, 80% of the bets were on the over. It's gone down 3 points. So it's very high, and it's going to be a very scary bet. But again, like you said, I think earlier last week, maybe on our last Getting Technical show, if you have 90 seconds with no scoring, the under is looking great. And that's at any point in the game when the total is that high in college basketball. It needs to almost be, a point every possession. And if you have a couple possessions without a couple points or a scoreless run there, the under's looking great. So It is scary though, because again, Alabama has scored 100 points multiple times this year. Kentucky has as well. Both these teams have had games in the 200s. But yeah, I like the under. I think the under is a sharp play. I kind of want to lean Alabama, but I have a feeling that's just not the right play. So I'm going to stay away. I will be taking the under, though. I like that. Moving that over to my bet list.
Yeah, I'm going to be on that too. And that is super rare for me. I think I've maybe bet 2 totals in college basketball this year, if that.
Yeah. Don't feel they can score with North Carolina if they're hot. About Virginia. Yeah, Virginia can't really score with anyone. It's Kentucky here. Kentucky's probably the play at home. Yeah. I do have a play at 5 p.m. tonight, Eastern time. James Madison at Georgia Southern. I fade James Madison all the time, and it just hasn't been extremely profitable. But I'm taking Georgia Southern at the plus 11.5. James Madison, I believe, is 24-3 or 25-3 against the spread or on the season. Georgia Southern is not good, no bueno. Seeing massive public line coming in on James Madison. And again, why wouldn't they be? James Madison is a walking bucket. They're a wagon. Georgia Southern sucks, but I'm taking Georgia Southern. It's my that's my 5 p.m. play, and I hate it, but I got to tail it. Do you have anything else coming? I'm not seeing much until 6 p.m.
Yeah. Georgia Southern JMU just played last Saturday. JMU by 7. So I like it. It's a quick turnaround. You're getting 11 points now at home, and they just lost on the road by 7. Sign me up for Georgia Southern. And I have to circle back around to another 4 p.m. game that I love, and it's pretty gross. I like Air Force plus 18.5 against New Mexico. Air Force has burned me a few times, especially around these point ranges. They're only 8-17 on the year, so they're not good, but they lost to New Mexico first time around by 19, so right in that range. And then they have Boise State on deck, another team they lost to, but there's no look ahead when you're 8-17 or whatever I just said. New Mexico off the big win against Colorado State. Came down to the wire, beat them by 2 points on Wednesday. So kind of an emotional win against a ranked team. And like I said, they already beat Air Force. They have Boise State on deck, who they lost to on January 31st. So touch of a look ahead spot here, touch of a letdown spot. I don't think they gave a damn about Air Force today. So, and I'm seeing 67% of the money on New Mexico, or 67% of the bets. And the line has gone from -19 to -18.5. So only a half point reverse line movement. But I think I'll be on Air Force. It's gross.
When Ethan gives out a Mountain West, usually it's wise to tail. So I probably won't get on it just because I hate big spreads, but I can get behind your logic there. Richmond over Davidson. I kind of lean Davidson, honestly. The spread's too low. Richmond's at home. I think Richmond's a better team. I like taking low spreads, and it's ugly, but I would lean Davidson. I'm not going to have a play on that game. Continuing down, that's at 6 p.m. as well. I'm seeing Texas, Kansas at 6 p.m. Auburn, Georgia at 6 p.m. Anything on those games? I think I'm going to take Texas.
Texas was my lean. This is extremely stupid, but I was just like scrolling through DraftKings or one of the apps and accidentally clicked a bet, and it was Texas money line. I was like, is that a sign telling me I should be on
Oh
Texas money
God,
line?
yeah, that just got over to the bet list.
Yeah, so yeah, I've not bet it, but Texas was my lean plus the points before that happened. And then when I pressed it, I was like, oh boy, is Texas about to win this game outright? Yeah, that's about it for that.
I like Auburn quite a bit at Georgia, but not going to bet it.
Yeah, my fear is they just have Tennessee on deck, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't love that game.
And then I'm kind of just moving down. I haven't looked. Oh, there's one I really like at 8 p.m. tonight. Florida State and Clemson's at 7:45. I have nothing on that game. No more smaller games for me in between there. And then we have a pretty solid 8 p.m. slate. So I'm just going to quickly give you my couple plays. We're almost at 11:30 here, which is usually when we get off. So I'm going to quickly give you my couple plays here. I really like Villanova at the plus 11.5. I have actually taken them. I placed it. They're at Connecticut. I told you last episode that I wanted to fade Connecticut at this spot, hoping they would win that game against Crayon. Unfortunately, they lost, but I'm still going to fade Connecticut. I've already bet at Villanova plus 11.5. I really like Arizona State today against Washington State. Washington State off the emotional win at Arizona on Thursday night. So just 2 days ago. And now they have to go travel back to Arizona State. They honestly probably just stayed. Doesn't really matter though. Love Arizona State plus the points there. And I think that's it for me for the night slate. Yeah, that's it for me for the night slate. I'm leaning UNLV, but it looks a little too public for me. Texas A&M, Tennessee, I don't have a bet on, but yeah, we'll be placing Nova and what did I just say? Arizona State.
Yep. I don't have anything from the 6 until now either. I love Villanova as well. Absolutely love it. I mean, Villanova's a good team. They're well coached. They've been in spots like this 100 times. Yeah, I think 12.5 is way too many, only because UConn's off a loss. UConn also has Seton Hall on deck, who is a team. It was their most recent loss before they just lost to Creighton. So I think there's a touch of a look ahead there. They already beat Villanova, but only by 1 point. So I think Villanova, felt like let that one get away. I don't think they want to do that again. So yeah, 12.5 is just ridiculous in my head. Love that. Haven't bet it yet, but I probably will. Another one I haven't bet that I like. I think Tennessee just runs train on Texas A&M today. The spread's 10.5, so it's up there, but I think they win and cover that one pretty easily. Agree with Arizona State. Haven't bet it. Just because I don't really handicap the Pac-12. I've tried. It didn't go well. I mean, I loved that UCLA game. I got great closing line value on it. Still didn't hit. I liked Arizona and the matchup against Washington State because Washington State beat them the first time around and now swept them. So, yeah, I'm not good at handicapping the Pac-12 this year, so I'm going to stay off of that, but it would have to be Arizona State for me. I am on UNLV. That is another play of mine that I absolutely love.
Yeah, UNLV,
but
yeah, it fits the system. It fits the system. To paint, you have Drake, UCLA, Mississippi State. I personally like UNI, Northern Iowa, a lot against Drake. UCLA, I don't have a lean on that game against USC. I like fading USC at all costs, so I'd probably lean UCLA in that. Then you have Mississippi State, who I believe is playing at LSU. I haven't even looked at that game at all. I honestly would probably go back to God, LSU just off a big win, aren't they? I'm gonna, yeah, I probably won't have a bet on that. I want to fade them, but is it too obvious to fade them?
I lean Mississippi State.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mississippi State is like right on the edge of I don't know if I'm going to play it or not.
Island Boy, welcome, brother. Who do you have winning Fresno State versus San Diego? San Diego State. I'm going to take San Diego State to win. That cover is going to be the different issue. I believe San Diego State is 13 to 14 point favorite there. That's a lot of points for a team that's not the highest scoring team. But yeah, San Diego State should win. I honestly kind of lean Fresno State on the cover, but don't have a play on it.
Yeah, same.
Thank you for the comment. And if you're not subscribing, we are just one away from 550. You can see some you can see my boobs if you click that subscribe button. Fresno State covers. Yeah, that's where I would lean.
Yeah.
It's a lot of points. A lot of points at home. I know Fresno's not very good, but yeah. Well, we are right around 550. Are we 550? There it is. There it is.
Let's
there
go.
It is, boys.
Let's go.
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you for hopping on. If you have any other games you want to know, let us know. We're about to hop off real quick here. These games are starting in about 30 minutes, 27 minutes Eastern time. We just want to kind of run through the whole board. We will be tweeting all of our plays out on both of our Twitters. This is my username, Worst Bets. His username is eBainbridge26. Tweet out all of our plays every single day. You can also check out our website where we post all different kind of sports articles over there. I know we have a UFC article out right now. Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And again, we'll stay on for a little longer if you have any other questions on the slate, Island Boy. Good luck to you as well, to Paint Connect. Thank you for hopping on as always. Happy Saturday. Good luck on all your bets. But yeah, I got to lock in some plays real quick. I'm going to do that on my phone. Real quick.
Yeah.
Here.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody who hopped on. Really appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks for subscribing. That 550 is awesome. Wyatt, quickly, do you just want to throw out the 5 plays that you already have locked in just to clarify?
Yep. Sacramento State, Montana. That's a low level game. I would lean Montana State in that one. They're at home. They're the better team. I don't have the spread pulled up. I'm assuming it's probably close to a 10-point spread. I would probably take Montana State in that.
What time is that game?
That is it's a night, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Let me check.
Yeah, and I'll quickly give you – go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No, you go for it.
I'll quickly give you guys my plays today. I have bet 5, but I'm just going to give you all of them, the bets I'm about to place. I have Missouri +5, St. Louis -4.5, Oklahoma State -1.5, Georgia Southern +11.5, Villanova +11.5, the Citadel +6, Wake Forest -2.5, Mississippi or Ole Miss -3.5, UCF -1.5, UVA +2.5. And take the under in Alabama, Kentucky, Texas +8.5, Arizona State +6.5, and Tennessee -10.5. Again, all my plays will be posted on Twitter because I think that's like 13 plays. So I'll be posted on Twitter so you can check those out. Iowa versus Illinois. Tempted to take Iowa in that game on the spread.
Yeah, we basically said for that game, if I was shooting well from 3, they're going to cover and the game's going over. If they aren't, they're not going to cover. It's going to go under, which is, not rocket science there, but that's just how Iowa plays.
Yeah.
I don't have a play. I just quick peeked at Sacramento State, Montana State. I was like looking at Chinese. That's just not even a conference that I'd even pay any attention to. So just off a quick look, I don't have anything. I don't want to give out any advice without really looking into it. The plays that I currently have locked in, and I will tweet these out like Wyatt said, and I will be adding to it quite a few plays, but I have K-State plus 1.5, Wake Forest -2, TCU -4, UCF plus 1.5, and UNLV plus 1. And I think
Yeah,
you could just money line all those except
yeah.
TCU.
I'm gonna have a pretty big slate. Not gonna lie, and that's scary, but that's what I'm gonna lock in. Again, we're gonna hop off quickly because I'm getting a little stressed. We have about 20 minutes until tip off here. I gotta place my final bets, get my tweets out. But thank you guys for hopping on. Island Boy will always remember you for 550. Maybe we'll have to give you something for that, but we appreciate it. Happy Saturday, guys. And you have anything else before we head out here?
Next Saturday, I might be the Island Boy. I will be in Florida. So not sure if we'll be going live or not. I'm hopeful that yes, we will, but I will keep you guys posted. So hopefully we'll be back next Saturday. If not, we'll be back the following Saturday. But yeah,
Yep,
thanks as always for tuning in, guys, and good luck.
Yep. Good luck. And if Ethan's not on, I might just be on solo or yeah, we'll figure something out. But yeah, good luck, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on Mondays live.